There will come a day when life hits you harder than you ever imagined. When everything you've built feels like it's crumbling. In that moment, you have a choice: break under the weight, or rise stronger than ever before. What if I told you that the secret to thriving isn't luck, talent, or circumstances, but a skill you can master today? Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, you'll discover how to build unbreakable resilience, transform every setback into a comeback, and create a life where challenges no longer scare you, they empower you. Resilience is not something you are born with, it is something you cultivate. Many people believe that some individuals are simply naturally strong or born tough, while others are destined to crumble under pressure. This is a misconception. The truth is that resilience is a skill, a set of habits and mental practices that anyone can develop with patience, awareness, and consistent effort. Life will test every one of us, and the difference between those who thrive and those who falter is not luck, but the deliberate ability to respond to challenges with clarity, courage, and perseverance. Every setback is not a sentence to defeat, but an opportunity to strengthen the mind. Just as a weight strengthens a muscle through repeated effort. The first step to building resilience is understanding the power of your thoughts. Your mind shapes your reality far more than external circumstances ever can. When fear, doubt, or anxiety arises, it is not a weakness. It is a signal, a chance to examine your mental patterns and choose a response rather than a reaction. Resilience is not about eliminating fear, it is about acting in spite of fear. About training your mind to remain calm and focused when everything around you seems chaotic. Each time you face discomfort consciously, each time you move forward despite uncertainty, you are strengthening the mental pathways that will allow you to handle ever greater challenges. Just as a muscle grows stronger with use, so too does the mind become more resilient with each act of deliberate courage. Resilience also requires a shift in perspective. Those who lack it often see hardship as unfair, as punishment practice, or as a reason to give up. Resilient individuals, however, learn to view challenges differently. Every obstacle, every failure, every disappointment carries within it a lesson that can strengthen the mind and heart. Life does not owe you ease or comfort, but it offers growth through experience. By taking responsibility for your response rather than blaming external forces, you reclaim your power. You begin to understand that the only thing you can truly control is your own attitude, effort, and determination. This mindset transforms adversity from a threat into a teacher, guiding you toward a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more capable. Daily habits play a critical role in cultivating resilience. Just as physical fitness requires consistent exercise, mental resilience requires regular practice. Simple routines of reflection, mindfulness, and disciplined action can gradually rewire the brain to respond to stress with composure and clarity. Facing small challenges intentionally prepares you for larger ones. Each conscious effort to endure, adapt, and persist builds a foundation that supports you when life's true storms arrive. The victories of resilience are often quiet and incremental, yet they accumulate into an unshakable strength that can withstand tremendous pressure. Through this ongoing practice, resilience becomes less about heroic moments and more about consistent, reliable inner power. Finally, resilience is strengthened through connection. While it is cultivated internally, it is nurtured externally through relationships, mentorship, and shared experience. Observing how others navigate difficulty, seeking guidance when necessary, and supporting those around you all enhance your capacity to endure this. Human beings are social creatures, and the experience of facing challenges together teaches lessons that solitary struggle cannot. Understanding that adversity is universal and that strength can be learned and shared reinforces the belief that you are capable of overcoming anything. Resilience grows when it is exercised in the real world, in the context of life's complexities, rather than as an abstract concept. Recognizing that resilience is a skill rather than a fixed trait is transformative. It empowers you to take control of your life, to approach every difficulty as a chance to grow and to build mental and emotional strength intentionally. No circumstance can break you if you develop the skill of resilience, and no setback can define you if you understand that every challenge is a stepping stone to a stronger, wiser self. With conscious effort, patience, and commitment, resilience becomes not just a response to adversity, but a way of thriving in every aspect of life, shaping you into someone who is unshakable, unstoppable, and fully capable of facing whatever comes next. Thriving is more than merely surviving. So often, people mistake endurance for success, believing that getting through the day, paying the bills, or simply avoiding failure is enough. But survival alone is not living, it is merely existing. Thriving requires a deeper level of engagement with life, a willingness to step into discomfort, and the courage to transform challenges into opportunities. It is the difference between being buffeted by life's storms and learning to dance in the rain. When you understand this, you recognize that adversity is not a wall meant to stop you, but a ladder designed to elevate you. The first step to thriving beyond survival is embracing a mindset of possibility. Life will inevitably throw obstacles in your path, but these are not reasons to shrink back, they are invitations to grow. Every failure, setback, or disappointment carries with it a lesson that, if learned, will make you stronger and wiser. Thriving is about seeking these lessons actively rather than waiting for comfort to appear. It is about refusing to let circumstances dictate your growth. When you train yourself to see obstacles as opportunities, you begin to extract value from experiences that others allow to defeat them. You start to understand that challenges are not interruptions to your life. They are integral to the process of becoming more capable, more aware, and more resilient. Thriving also requires intentional action. Surviving often means reacting to life passively, moving from one crisis to the next without strategy or purpose. Thriving demands that you take control, that you act decisively even when the path is unclear. It requires cultivating habits that reinforce growth, such as reflection, disciplined work, and continuous learning. It demands patience, persistence, and a willingness to stretch beyond comfort. Every small, deliberate action contributes to a momentum that transforms mere endurance into meaningful progress. Over time, these consistent efforts compound, producing results that far exceed the expectations of those who merely seek to survive. Equally important is the ability to cultivate joy and fulfillment even in difficult circumstances. Thriving does not mean that life becomes free from pain or struggle. It means finding strength, purpose, and meaning in the midst of those struggles. It is the capacity to remain centered and optimistic, to celebrate progress rather than focusing solely on setbacks. Thriving people understand that resilience alone is insufficient. It must be paired with a sense of vision and a commitment to pursuing what truly matters. They do not wait for life to become easy to be happy or productive. They create conditions for growth, fulfillment, and impact even while navigating challenges. Another crucial element of thriving is adaptability. Life is unpredictable, and those who merely survive are often rigid, clinging to the familiar and resisting change. Thriving individuals embrace uncertainty, seeing it as a field of potential rather than a source of fear. They learn to pivot, innovate, and experiment, knowing that flexibility is a key part of growth. By adapting to changing circumstances while remaining anchored in their values and goals, they maintain momentum and transform obstacles into stepping stones. Every setback becomes a chance to refine strategy, expand skill sets, and deepen understanding, making resilience not just reactive but a proactive. Ultimately, thriving beyond survival is about transformation. It is the conscious choice to rise above circumstance, to convert difficulty into strength, and to take ownership of your growth. It is about refusing to live in a state of passivity and instead embracing life with clarity, courage, and purpose. Survival is the first step, but thriving is the mastery of living. When you adopt this perspective, life no longer feels like a series of burdens to bear, but a series of challenges to conquer. Each one shaping you into a stronger, wiser, and more capable version of yourself. Thriving is not optional. It is the natural result of intentional effort, a mindset of growth, and the relentless pursuit of becoming more than your circumstances allow. Emotional mastery is the cornerstone of resilience and personal growth. Many people live their lives as if emotions are uncontrollable forces, allowing anger, fear, frustration, or anxiety to dictate their actions and decisions. But true strength lies in learning to understand, manage, and channel these emotions rather than being enslaved by them. Emotional mastery is not about suppressing feelings or pretending that challenges do not affect you. It is about recognizing the messages within your emotions and using them to guide intentional action. Every emotion carries information about your needs, your boundaries, and your state of mind. Learning to listen and respond wisely transforms raw emotion into powerful energy that drives growth and progress. The first step toward mastering your emotions is awareness. Most people react instinctively, allowing feelings to dictate behavior before thinking, which often leads to regret or missed opportunities. By cultivating awareness, you create a space between stimulus and response. This space allows you to pause, reflect, and choose the most effective way to act. Emotional mastery begins when you can observe your inner state without judgment. Acknowledging what you feel and why you feel it. Over time, this practice rewires the mind to respond rather than react, giving you control over your choices, even in the most difficult situations. Awareness turns emotions from unpredictable forces into tools for self-guidance. Next, mastering your emotions requires understanding their impermanence. Emotions, no matter how intense, are temporary waves that rise and fall. When you recognize that anger, fear, or sadness will pass, you stop allowing these feelings to dictate your actions impulsively. Instead, you can assess the situation with clarity, make rational decisions, and maintain composure. Resilient individuals understand that emotional turbulence is a natural part of life, not a signal to retreat or give up. By accepting emotions as transient experiences, you prevent them from becoming obstacles and instead harness their energy to motivate constructive action. This mindset transforms challenges from threats into opportunities for learning and adaptation. Discipline is another essential component of emotional mastery. Like any skill, Managing emotions requires consistent practice and intentional effort. Techniques such as mindful breathing, reflection, journaling, or meditation help regulate emotional responses and strengthen the ability to remain centered under pressure. Developing routines that reinforce calmness and clarity allows you to navigate high-stress situations with confidence. It is not about eliminating emotion, but about creating habits that ensure your feelings inform your choices rather than control them. Emotional discipline turns reactive chaos into strategic composure, allowing you to remain steady when others falter. Equally important is the practice of reframing challenges and setbacks. Emotional mastery involves learning to interpret difficult experiences through a lens of growth rather than victimhood. Every challenge, frustration, or disappointment carries a lesson. And the ability to see this lesson determines your ability to thrive. Instead of reacting with resentment or despair, you train yourself to extract insight, to find meaning, and to convert emotional energy into productive action. By reframing experiences in this way, you build not only resilience but also a sense of empowerment, knowing that you can respond effectively to whatever life presents. Emotional mastery becomes the key to transforming adversity into strength. Finally, emotional mastery is deeply connected to self-compassion and empathy. Understanding your own emotions allows you to relate to the emotions of others with patience and clarity. It enhances relationships, builds trust, and fosters collaboration, which further reinforces your resilience. By mastering your inner world, you gain the ability to influence the outer world positively, creating an environment in which challenges become opportunities for collective growth rather than sources of conflict. Emotional mastery is not only about controlling oneself, it is about creating harmony, insight, and strength in every aspect of life. Ultimately, mastering your emotions is the bridge between surviving challenges and thriving in life. It transforms fear into focus, frustration into determination, and despair into clarity. By practicing awareness, patience, discipline, reframing, and empathy, you develop the skill to navigate any circumstance with composure and purpose. Emotional mastery is not a destination but a continuous journey, one that allows you to rise above life's turbulence with confidence, wisdom, and resilience. It is the power to act from choice rather than reaction, shaping your reality through conscious presence and unwavering inner strength. Action without direction is meaningless, and dreams without discipline are fragile. To truly thrive, you must combine inspiration with the relentless practice of self-discipline. Motivation alone is fleeting. It can ignite the spark, but it cannot sustain the fire. Discipline is the force that carries you through the moments when motivation fades, when the world is indifferent, and when challenges seem insurmountable. Action guided by purpose, repeated consistently over time, transforms ordinary effort into extraordinary results. The difference between those who succeed and those who falter is not talent, luck, or circumstance. It is the commitment to take deliberate steps every day, regardless of how they feel in the moment. The first principle of inspiring action is clarity of purpose. Without a clear vision, energy disperses, and action becomes random and ineffective. Knowing what you want and why you want it provides direction and fuels perseverance. Every choice, every habit, and every effort should be aligned with this vision. When you have clarity, setbacks no longer derail you. Instead, they become information that helps you adjust your path. Action becomes meaningful because it is intentional. Discipline in this context is the consistent alignment of your behavior with your highest goals, ensuring that every small step contributes to the larger journey. Without this alignment, even extraordinary effort can lead to stagnation, but with it, even small actions compound into life-changing outcomes. Consistency is the heart of self-discipline. Most people overestimate what they can achieve in a single day and underestimate what they can achieve over months and years. Thriving requires patience, persistence, and the understanding that growth is cumulative. It is not the grand gestures that define progress, but the quiet, repeated actions performed even when no one is watching. Consistency builds momentum, and momentum builds confidence. Each completed task reinforces the belief that you are capable, even in the face of difficulty. By committing to consistent effort, you create a foundation that allows you to weather obstacles, setbacks, and fatigue without losing your path. Equally important is the willingness to act despite fear or uncertainty. Courage is not the absence of fear, it is the decision to move forward anyway. Discipline strengthens this courage because it turns action into a habit rather than a choice dependent on emotion. Each time you act in the face of doubt, hesitation, or discomfort, you reinforce the neural pathways of resilience and determination. Over time, fear loses its power, and the ability to respond effectively becomes instinctive. Action fueled by self-discipline transforms challenges into opportunities and inertia into momentum, shaping a life that thrives instead of merely survives. Action and discipline are also intertwined with accountability and reflection. To remain effective, you must regularly evaluate your progress, identify areas for improvement, and adjust your approach. Discipline is not blind obedience to routine, it is the intelligent application of effort toward meaningful goals. When combined with accountability, whether to yourself or to others, action becomes precise and strategic. Every decision, every effort, and every setback is an opportunity to learn and improve. Through this cycle of action, reflection, and adjustment, discipline evolves into mastery, equipping you with the ability to navigate complexity, overcome adversity, and achieve results that once seemed impossible. Finally, inspiring action and self-discipline cultivate inner strength and confidence. When you witness your own ability to commit, persevere, and achieve, you realize that your potential is far greater than you imagined. Discipline teaches patience, focus, and responsibility, while action transforms intention into reality. Together, they form the foundation for a life of resilience, growth, and purpose. Thriving is no longer a distant dream, it becomes your daily experience, a product of repeated choices, deliberate effort, and unwavering commitment. Through inspiring action guided by self-discipline, you unlock the power to create a life that is not only unbreakable in the face of adversity, but extraordinary in its achievements, impact, and fulfillment.